أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد أشرف المرسلين وعلى صحبه أجمعين ومن اتبع لسنته إلى يوم الدين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. I greet you with the greeting of Islam, which is to say, may the peace and blessings of Allah Almighty, glorified and exalted as He be upon you. After sending peace and blessings upon you, I send peace and blessings upon the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and upon his companions, and upon his family, and upon all those who follow him in guidance until the day of judgment. Amma ba'd. Now, as to what precedes, we continue inshallah with our lessons of Mukhtasar al-Akhdari, the abridgment of Imam al-Akhdari, in morals, in purification, and in prayer. We finished 2 lessons ago the chapter on morals, and especially with respects to what is obligatory for a mukallaf, meaning a legally responsible person, in terms of his actions, in terms of his states, and in terms of his speech. And then last time, I think it was 2 weeks ago, we dove into a faslu, the chapter fit tahara, the chapter into purity. You understand? We dove into the chapter in purity. And we're still in that chapter. In that first lesson on purity, he had effectively informed us at tahara that purity is of 2 types. That you have tahara from hadith, meaning tahara from certain events that occur, such as going to urinate, I should say, such as defecating, such as ejaculating sperm, such as having prostrate fluid come out, such as having pre-ejaculation fluid come out, such as falling asleep, such as being insane, such as being drunk or being intoxicated, such as falling unconscious. That all of these things are events that occur that cause a person to lose his state of purity. And then he had said that the second type is that is this taharatu khabath, is the purity that comes from being pure from the actual filth itself. So it's to have your clothes, your body, and your place of prayer to be free from feces, from urine, from ejaculation, and things of that nature. And he has said that the obtainment of taharatul hadith or taharatul khadas, taharatul hadith or taharatul khabath, it cannot be obtained except with water. And he had informed us that water has to be both pure and purifying. Pure in the sense that it is permissible for use in other contexts besides removing filth, and then purifying in that it purifies a person from a state of ritual impurity. And he had told us the quality of water that is pure and purifying, meaning tahur, or if you want to break it down, tahir wa tahir, pure and purifying. Well, pure and purifying can be combined into one word as well, which is tahur. He said that this is water that has not been changed in its color, in its smell, and in its taste by something that doesn't normally belong to water. But if those things are changed by something that normally belongs to water, such as mud, such as dirt, such as like grass, such as salt, such as plaster, such as the mug that you hold the water in, and over time, the water becomes a bit colored because of that, then there's no issue with that, even if the color or the smell changes. You understand? Now, so inshallah we will continue. We're still in the chapter on the fasl fi tahara. We're still in the chapter on tahara, on purity. And remember, we said purity is not the same as cleanliness. Purity is a state by which a person in the Sharia is able to perform certain actions, such as prayer, such as tawaf, such as touching a copy of the Quran, and things of that nature, right? But cleanliness, a person can be clean and be in a state of ritual impurity. A person can be unconventionally clean. He could go work at a construction site all day. He has plaster all over him, his pants are rough, he has dirt all over him, and he makes wudu, and he's still in a state of purity. So purity and cleanliness are not the same thing, although they tend to go hand in hand. A person that maintains purity will generally be a clean person, and an unclean person is going to have trouble maintaining purity for the simple fact that purity revolves around water, and water is what people use to make themselves clean. So inshallah today, a'udhu billahi min shaitan rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. He says, إذا تعينت النجاسة غسل محلها. He says, if you know exactly where a place of filth is, then you wash that exact place. So, for example, if you have your thobe, your pants, your jeans, and you urinate, I should say. I don't know why I say you urinate. Urine is the actual product, but you urinate, and then droplets of urine, they touch a particular part of your pants, and you can see it. You know that this is exactly where the urine has touched, or this is exactly where the feces has touched, or this is exactly where the sperm has touched. Then in that case, you wash that specific part. You wash that specific part of your clothes. Or if it's on your body, you wash that specific part of your body. Or if it's on your prayer mat or the place you're going to pray, you wash that specific part of your prayer mat or the place that you're going to pray. That's if you know exactly where it is that the najasa, that the filth itself has touched. He says, فَإِنِ الْتَبَسَتْ. But if it becomes ambiguous to you, like meaning it's spread out over multiple places, you don't know exactly where the filth is touched. You know, for example, I urinated standing up, as an example, and then there was kickback of urine on my clothes, right? I know that the urine touched my clothes somehow, someplace, but I'm not sure exactly where. He says, غُسِلَ الثَّوْبُ كُلُّهُ. Then you wash the entirety of the clothes, or you wash the entirety of your leg, or you wash the entirety of the prayer mat, for example. You understand? Now, so if you know where the filth is, you just wash that specific part. And if you don't know where the filth is, then you just wash the entire thing. Now, he says, وَمَنْ شَكَّ فِي إِصَابَةِ النَّجَاسَةِ نَضَحَ. He says, whoever has doubt as to whether najasa, he was touched by filth, nadaha, then he sprinkles water over a particular place. You understand? So, for example, you're walking through a place that has human feces, right? And you're not sure whether you were touched by the feces or not. You know that there's feces there, but you're not sure whether it touched you or not. You're 50-50. So he says here that when you come out of that situation, you just wash. You sprinkle a little water on where you think it might have touched you. But it's better to lean on the probability that it hasn't touched you, because the qaida, the principle that's important, is that doubt does not remove certainty. The doubt does not remove certainty. But if you go to a place where you know it's filthy, and you're not sure as to whether it touched you or not, it's better to sprinkle that place that you think that it might have touched you at. He says, وَإِنْ أَصَابَهُ شَيْءٌ. But if something touches you, you know that something for sure touches you. So, for example, I'm just walking on the road, right? I'm walking on the street, and something flies, like a brown particle flies and touches me. شَكَّ فِي نَجَاسَتِهِ. But I have doubt as to whether this thing is pure or not. I'm not sure that this thing is whether it's a piece of feces or whether it's just a piece of mud. He says, فَلَا نَدْحَ عَلَيْهِ, that there's no sprinkling on you. Because once again, the principle is that doubt does not remove certainty. You understand? That you're certain that in general, feces are not just going to fly around and touch you when you're outside. So if every time something was to touch you, it would also become very difficult. If every time something was to touch you, you thought, oh, this is feces, then this must be impure, I have to sprinkle it, then you're going to be in for a very difficult life. You understand? Now, he says, وَمَنْ تَذَكَّرَ النَّجَاسَةَ. Whoever remembers that he has filth on his body, or he has filth on his clothes, or he has filth on his prayer place, وَهُوَ فِي الصَّلَاةِ, and he happens to be in the prayer, meaning he's in the middle of his prayer, and he recalls, oh man, I have urine on my pants. He says, قَطَعَ, he cuts off his salah right away. He breaks it off. Because one of the conditions of prayer is that you have to be in a state of purity. إِلَّا, except أَنْ يَخَافَ خُرُوجَ الْوَقْتِ, except if he fears that the time of the prayer is going to go away. So I wake up, say, 10 minutes before the time of Fajr ends, or let's say 5 minutes before the time of Fajr ends, and I urinate. And when I urinate, I don't realize that some urine touches me, and then I make wudu. And I have some urine on my pants. I forget that I have urine on my pants. And then while I'm in the middle of prayer, there's about 30 seconds left until the Fajr prayer is about to end. And I recall, oh man, I have some urine on my pants. It's not permissible to pray, and you're knowingly in a state of You normally have najas on you. You have normally have filth on you. But the time of the prayer is about to exit. In that case, the time of the prayer is what's preeminent, is what you take into consideration, and then you go, you keep making your prayer, and then you don't repeat your prayer. You understand? You don't repeat your prayer. Now, so but if there's plenty of time for you to go clean yourself, make wudu, whatever the case might be, for you to lift that filth from you, and then you come back and pray, and the time will still not end, then what's obligatory is for you to cut your prayer right away, go back and pray, and go back and clean yourself, make wudu, and then come back and pray. He says, وَمَنْ صَلَّ بِهَا نَاسِيًا. He says that whoever prays with najasa on him, with filth on him, on his body or in his prayer place, وَتَذَكَّرَ, and then he remembers ba'd as-salam, he remembers after the prayer that he had filth on him, أَعَادَ فِي الْوَقْتِ, then he repeats the prayer so long as he's in the time of the prayer. So I'm in the time of Asr, I pray, I finish my prayer, and then before the time of Maghrib comes in, I realize that, oh, I had filth on me. I had some urine on my body. There's still time. I go, I clean myself, I make wudu, and I come back and I pray. But if the time of Maghrib has already elapsed, and I remember that during the time of Asr I prayed, and I had najasa on me, I had something that was najas on me, then I go and I just leave it alone, like, because the time has already passed. So that's one of those things where the ulama, they say that it's an obligation for you to have a state of purity, to be free from najasa, meaning to be free from filth on your body, so long as you are qadiran and dhakiran, so long as you are able and so long as you remember. But if these two things go, if I'm not able to remove this urine from my pants in any circumstance, then I just have to pray with it on, right? If the only option is between removing my pants or pray with the pants on, then I keep my pants on, right? If I forget until the time of the prayer elapses, then there's nothing I can do. The time of the prayer has elapsed. There's other things though where it doesn't matter if it's qadir and dhakiran. If you omit them, you have to repeat the prayer abadan. So for example, if you are in salah and you realize that I'm praying without wudu, you finish the prayer, they'll say you're in the Asr time, you finish the prayer, and then after Asr time ends, you're in Maghrib time, you realize, oh, I just prayed Asr without wudu. Then no matter what, you go back, you make wudu, and you pray Asr again, because your prayer was invalid in the first place. Your prayer is invalid. The prayer is not accepted without wudu. So that's a bit different than having najasa on you. Najasa, if it's still in the time of the prayer, you repeat the prayer if you remember it. If the time of the prayer passes and you've already completed the prayer and then you only remember it after the prayer has ended and the time of the prayer has ended as well, then you just let it go. It's as though it's gone. So inshallah we'll end it here. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.